channel. Today I have a thrift haul to share with you. So we went to our local thrift store. We spent 2 separate times. I took the kids one day and then I went separately another day. I did film that, so I will leave a link above and below to that vlog. I show how cheap the prices really are while I was in there. Of course, it was jam-packed the day I went alone, and so it was difficult to film around a lot of people in there because the thrift store is really small, but I did my best. So I'm going to show you what we picked up over those 2 trips. So I'll start with the clothes. The first thing I found was this blue polo. It is an Arizona brand. This was new with tags and I just washed it up. Everything needs to be ironed. It's all a little wrinkly, but that's okay. I found Max also like a collared button-down shirt. Good for church. Again, needs to be ironed. This was the Chaps brand. It really just reminds me of an old man shirt, but it was really in excellent condition and I couldn't pass it up. So there's that one. And then I also found him, and again, needs to be ironed, Crazy 8 brand, size 7-8, with this plaid colored shirt as well. These will be great for into summer, into fall, and then next spring as well he can wear these. So I was happy to find those. I did also pick him up a Puma jacket. This is a really pretty cobalt blue color with a gray track stripe down the side of the sleeves. It was in really excellent condition. It's a size small. I think it'll be really good for him to wear this fall as just like a warm-up jacket out on those cool mornings. And then I always look for plaid button-down shirts for my husband. These are his favorite work shirts, and for $1 you can't beat it. So this is the Wrangler brand, and it's actually like pretty lightweight. For him, it'll be good for this summer. He loves to wear these because he can unbutton them and get like a breeze with it. His dad does the same thing. So these are work shirts, and whenever I can, I get him a new one. And then I also found Natalie this black chap skirt. This will be really good for fall as well. It's got a stretchy waistband and plaid, almost like buffalo check kind of, but smaller. Plaid detail, and then it does also have a ruffle detail around the bottom, but I did not notice when I purchased it, and I'm actually not sure if maybe it happened once I got it home, but there's a piece of the ruffle that's come off, which will not take much of anything just to stitch it right back on with some black thread. So not too worried about that, and this will go into her wardrobe for this fall. While I was there, I also found Mason a T-ball glove, good for this spring. I'll just throw this in his closet and he will be able to use this when he plays ball this spring. It's in a really good condition and I only paid $1 for it. So I always check out the sporting goods stuff that they have there because you'd be amazed at how cheap it is. And you know, sporting equipment is a good thing to get secondhand if you can. Now, I did also find some educational items. The first thing, this was quite the deal of the day. The first time we went with the kids, I found this little rhythm set. It's from the Gymboree brand, although I've been shopping at Gymboree for years and I've never seen anything like this there. But it came with 2 bell sticks and then a wooden stick and then this little block with beads. The boys have been having a lot of fun with this. Max gets his recorder out and they make music. So it was really a good deal for only $0.25. And then I also did find a pile of things. A spelling bee game for, this was 25 cents, and the goal is to spell like really simple words like cow and hen and sun, and then you fill up your little beehive with bees, and whoever gets the most spelled words wins. So thought that would be kind of a fun review, but also something good for Mason coming up, starting kindergarten. And then I did also find sight word bingo. This, I believe, is mostly kindergarten sight words like was and if and went, but it'll be a good little review for Max too, just to go over because we practice sight words all year. And that was $1, which I think is too much for what it was, but oh well. Now I did add to my homeschool library. I'm always on the hunt for books because they're so cheap there. They're usually only a quarter to 50 cents. So for the boys, for easy readers or leveled readers, The first one, Big Max, and I only got this because it's about Max, and it's a second grade level book for Max for this year. I did find a second grade book as well, all about the 100th day of school, which we do celebrate. And then anytime I can find an educational book, I try to pick them up one at a time. This one is Animals of Africa. And then Max loves little critter books, so we got this one. It is like a kindergarten or pre-K reader, but it'll be good for him just to review it. And then Mason found 2 Thomas books. Of course, we had to pick these up. And then I got a Dr. Seuss book because I was certain we did not have Hop on Pop in our collection, and I've been trying to expand our Dr. Seuss library as much as possible because I think as long as Mason's coming up the line, we have quite a few years still of reading Dr. Seuss books, and they're really good readers. Then I found some good children's literature. I found Brian's Winter by Gary Paulson, and then The Watsons Go to Birmingham. I'm almost certain that these and also this book called Pay It Forward, which I got for Natalie, about a 12-year-old little boy who accepts his social studies teacher's assignment to come up with a plan to change the world. None of these books have ever been read. Those spines were not cracked, and they were in excellent condition. So good library books, or good books to add to your library for 50 cents a piece. Now all hardback books were a quarter. They were 4 for $1. So while I was there, I also got 4 more Hardy Boy books, which again were in excellent condition, although we did have a duplicate, a number 10. We already had that in our library, but Natalie is really into the Nancy Drew series, so I'm hoping by the time one of the 2 or both of them come up in age, the boys will be interested in the Hardy Boys series. So I've been adding to them because you really couldn't beat a quarter for these. And we've really found quite a lot of them just at that library alone, or at that thrift store alone. And then I did find Natalie a Nancy Drew one as well. Again, don't think any of these were read. The other time we were there was an American Girl book, Meet Rebecca, and there was also Meet Samantha. And Natalie picked these up because she wanted to read them, and we didn't already have either one of those. And then I tried like heck to talk her out of this. She wanted The English Roses, and it's by Madonna. It's about a girl who loves soccer, so she hasn't read it yet. We'll see. And then for myself, I found this one. This was a well-loved book, and normally I would not probably pay for something like this used. It's clearly worn. It's called Nickel and Dimed. It's a study that a woman named Barbara, I'm going to butcher this, but I think it's Ehrenreich, wrote about checking, like living as if she was like a person who lived paycheck to paycheck. It's all about not getting by in America. It's about low-wage America and all its tenacity, anxiety, and surprising generosity. I'm really into finance lately, and I thought that this would be a really interesting book to read, so I was really glad to have found that. I probably would have never, ever otherwise found or picked something up like that. Then I did find myself some milk glass. This little goblet style piece with a scalloped edge, which I'm a sucker for anything with a scalloped edge, was only 50 cents. I have no clue what I'm going to do with this yet, but maybe just add it to my collection. I only have a few pieces. I don't buy a ton of milk glass. I'm not like a collector or anything, but when I find an interesting piece, I do like to pick it up. So I got this one that day while I was there. And then they had a new section this last time that I was there called Vintage and Collectibles, and they had like old games like Tiddlywinks and just Raggedy Ann dolls and all these different little fun things that were old. But I found this for myself, and it is this little lidded crock, and it was $3, and I couldn't actually believe they were asking $3 for it, because it actually has a crack on the back of it, so it's probably not really worth much of anything, but It is very sweet, and I will add this to my decor of Crocs because I couldn't pass it up for $3. And I justified it with that we walk out of there paying very little for so many things so many other times that if I overspent on one item once in a while, it wouldn't really be a big deal. And last but not least, I did also find another Atlas jar, which if you look at my last thrift haul, I did have one of these in it as well, in the turquoise. This one's rather cruddy. It really needs a good wash. But I was so stinking pumped to find this because glass jars there are only 50 cents. So I paid 50 cents for this old little bugger. So I think that was like my deal of the day, which I found a ton of really good stuff. I think we don't spend a ton of money when we're in there. It's anywhere from $5 to $10, if that. Typically about as much as you'd probably spend at a yard sale, and we come home with a lot of really great stuff that we're really happy about. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time in my next video. Please subscribe because I go to the thrift store weekly, and I have a thrift haul usually every other week on my channel. I hope you have a great day.